Hello! Welcome back to Bike Club. I just couldn't hit the unmute button there for a minute. Anyway, welcome back to Bike Club. Yeah, it's D&D, it's Castle Strahd, vampires and shit, that's why we're here. So, why is the music not on? Shit. Technical issues. Right. So, shall we start? Just get right off the bat. Just get straight into it. Are we ready? We good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were we last time?
Well, when last we saw our adventurers, they were gathered in a tavern, waiting around for the day to pass so they could continue their travels. They were met by a very fancily dressed gentleman who presented them with a mysterious letter. They then followed him out of the tavern after reading the letter, and they heard the sounds of a hunt in the woods, and a fog began to roll in. Most of the party, seeing sense and not wanting to be murdered horribly by this hunt, ran into the fog. One took some convincing. Upon entering the fog grew denser and denser until they couldn't see themselves in it. When they reappeared on the other side, they found that they weren't where they were 5 minutes ago. The environment around them had completely changed. Where before the leaves were green and the trees were full of leaves and everything was colourful and lovely, and although raining, where they arrived everything was dead and cold. The leaves were gone. The branches of trees were twisted and gnarled. They came across a corpse which looked like it had been pulled apart by people, which was perturbing for some of the party. Upon which, following a path, they discovered a zombie, which they promptly dispatched and headed into the town of Barovia. After a very interesting encounter with the three sisters that ran the tavern in Barovia, the party spoke to a gentleman named Ismark, who was the son of the burgomaster of Barovia. Upon meeting him, he told you he needed your help, to get his sister out of Barovia and free from the clutches of the devil Strahd. You agreed to help, and you went to their house to see Irina and see what you could do to help. Upon arrival, you discovered that their dad was super dead and had been dead for some time, starting to stink up the place, and they asked you to help them bury him before they could leave. So, you stayed the night, and we begin our tale today with you waking the next morning.
Well, obviously, I've changed outfits.
Obviously.
So, I think now Chandra is wearing something a little more appropriate to traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pair of like kitten heels with made out of chain link, and then like let's see, let's do like sort of a gauzy skirt with sequin blood running down it.
Nice.
Oh,
I like to imagine
Chandra
that
of the hot topic.
Chandra has this gigantic backpack and like, oh, it must be full of adventuring supplies. It's out.
No, not at all.
So javelin across the courtyard, I put up my middle finger to it.
Chandra, Ebony, Darkness, Dimension, moving way.
So, Chandra has beautified herself and made herself appropriate for travel. What do the rest of you guys do in the morning as you arrive?
Davalan has also changed clothes. It's the same outfit. It's just a different one.
I have not changed clothes. It's the same outfit. The same one.
I have not even changed out of these clothes. Slept to them. Yeah.
That's half me, that's half Davalan.
Nice. Alright, so you've been
Just
staying...
in case I need to leg it out of this place.
Okay. So you've been staying in the guest rooms of the Burgomaster's mansion. Try that again. And you descend down into the main living area. skirt past the room with the dead guy in it, and meet Ismark and Irina, who are in the drawing room at the front of the property, getting ready, having, preparing a simple breakfast because they don't have a lot. You get the sense that in Barovia, there's no exotic fruits, there's not plentiful meats or anything. It's very simple, like almost stale bread, bit of cheese, whatever they could cobble together. They've cobbled together for you guys for your breakfast. As you head down, they welcome you. They offer food and drink where they can. And Irina says, "So, today's the day, yes?"
Well, it seems to be that way.
Right.
What is that awful smell, by the way?
I'm gonna sit down to eat the breakfast. And
Morning.
what's her name again?
Irina.
Irina.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Irina, I can tell all the work that went into this food. Thank you for putting together for us.
You're welcome. I'm sorry it's not much, but, well, things have been hard lately.
It's all right. Can always do with a bite to eat.
Over his tankard, Ismark throws you a shitty look. And at that, Irina she very self-consciously adjusts her collar, right where the bandage is on her neck.
It's fine. You've always got to keep your alcohol on a top shelf. That way you've always got high spirits.
They share a look
Now
at
I
each
do
other.
the look.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes and eat.
I'm not even listening.
Well,
I made sure to set the furthest point on the table away from him after that. Just the plate just gets really loudly scraped across the table.
every scrape across the table, Ismark's like, doesn't say anything, but he's like.
Still, I can't help but be thankful for your hospitality. It seems like it's a rarity in this place. Do tell me, though, about how many people live in this town.
Well, it's been growing more increasingly difficult to give an exact number. Whether it's people attempting to flee, or the wolves get them, or, well, let's say pretty young girls don't last long in Barovia.
Oh, it's one of those places, is it?
Girls? What happens to the girls?
Well, Mad Mary down the road, her daughter disappeared one night. She was a headstrong, willful young girl. Always convinced that there was something more outside of Barovia. Her mother did try to tell her, but that attitude will get you killed here. But she never listened. And one morning, we heard a scream, and she was gone.
What happens to the ugly girls?
Well, that's very unkind to say, but he has no interest in them. You see...
Oh. Sorry for interrupting, but you're saying he's the one that has interest in them?
Mm-hmm.
The same one that with the...
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was picky.
Well, it's... I don't rightfully know for certain. It's just, these are things we've been told all our lives. And, we're told extra protections. I mean, it's not necessarily just the girls. Some boys go missing too. Young men, adventurers. If you catch his eye, then you're gone. And so we just don't. Mostly.
At some point, we're probably going to end up catching his eye, aren't we?
Oh, I'm fairly certain he already knows you're here.
We don't sink into the background, as it were.
No offense, but you're rather colourful in this drab landscape.
Why, thank you. Of course, the morning is the most beautiful part of the day.
Oh, God, I groan on my table.
He says while they're mourning.
You sound like the priest.
Oh, I'd love to meet this priest.
Oh, I'm sure you would. I'm sure he'd love to meet you as well.
Is he the priest of the town or the priest of the castle?
He's the priest of the town. His name is Donovich. I've known him since I was a very small girl.
Oh, so he's been around here some time.
Yes. Well, the devil does not really interfere with the church.
And tell me, who is the local worshipping around here?
The Morning Lord, of course.
Who is... Oh! Well, in that case, then, I would love to meet this priest of yours. If you say the devil has no interest in him, perhaps he can be reasoned to re-establish a wonderful morning one day.
Well, I wouldn't say that. It's more that he's not threatened by Donovich. Once you see him, you'll understand.
Oh.
He's
Still?
an old man.
Dawn does come for us all.
I'm sure it does.
You mentioned
think-
wolves.
Mm.
They attack, they hunt people.
Yes. They are very bloodthirsty. You've seen the claw marks around town, yes?
That's them.
That's them.
It's not normal.
Some say that they're of large size and unusually bloodthirsty because he commands them, but that's an old wives' tale, and it's surely not true. Hopefully.
Now, do they say he commands a particular pack?
No, it's more that everything in this land he controls.
Now, you see where I come from. We've learned to stop calling them old wives' tales. Instead, we call them adventuring contracts because more often than not these days, they're true.
It seems the case. I'm really not the best person to be asking about these things. Father kept us really sheltered. He didn't want anything bad to happen to us.
Who should we be talking to?
Honestly, I don't really know. Maybe the Vistani. They have a camp down near the Ser Pools. They're allowed to travel and see things. So maybe.
I'm not sure
Do we
I'm
know?
rather fond of the Vistani that I've met so far.
Why are they allowed to travel?
Well, I don't really know. Ismark, do you know? And at this point, Ismark has been eating, and he's like got a mouthful of toast. He's like, ooh, 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 ooh. Well, they said that hundreds of years ago, even before you were probably born, Master Elf, that the Count arrived in Barovia to siege the castle, and during that time he was gravely wounded, and that they took him in. A local band of Vistani took him in and healed him, and that's why. But I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me. That seems a bit fantastical.
So
You know?
are they supporting him? Or
I don't know. I mean, no one here trusts them. Because, I mean, we're trapped here. We can't leave. His castle looms over the very village. You'll be able to see when we go out this morning. He is ever present over us. We can't escape. And yet, they travel freely.
Well, that sounds mighty fishy to me. I suppose we should pay them a visit regardless. Whether that be by word or by blade.
start with a word. I can't believe I say that, but
Yeah.
start with a word.
It's probably best not to antagonize them. I remember when I was a boy, there was a Vistana, a young man who got a girl in the village pregnant, and the village didn't quite like that. So they beat the boy, they hung him from a tree, and every family that was involved fell with a curse.
Well,
So
right.
it's probably best not to antagonize the Vistani.
Is there anyone in this place that doesn't want to either cause physical harm or cursing upon another?
Probably not. We're desperate people. I don't know if you'd ever understand, but when you live every day under a threat of death, then you do what you can.
Well, where I'm from, a beholder runs the crime syndicate, so... whatever.
I don't even know what one of those is.
Neither do I. I'm just told they're very scary.
Right. Okay.
Well, shall we go see the Vistani then?
Well,
At first, I do believe we have a rather corpsed gentleman to deposit to his nearest dirt chute to Elysium.
if you don't mind, that's my father.
Oh, sorry, my apologies.
Shall we?
Indeed.
Maybe we can see this Donovich on the way.
Well, he'll be
Right.
Have a look
at
at
the
Bad Mary
church.
as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Perhaps we can aid in getting some stronger protections on your father so he doesn't end up like that poor soul we met on the way in here.
What?
There was a rather unfortunate fellow as we came into town. Very dead, but very much walking.
Oh, yeah. Those are usually people that have displeased the Count.
By the sounds of it, you all have.
By virtue of breathing, we displease him. But what can you do? Shall we?
I don't know a way of stopping it, but you probably won't like it.
A way of stopping what?
Him from coming back up and being a threat. But as I say, you probably won't like it.
Well, it's... cremation is a viable
Irina
option.
at this point stands. She goes,
I wasn't thinking that.
Gentlemen, please, thank you. I understand that
Uh,
you're
I'm-
wanting to
I'm-
help, but if we get him in consecrated ground at the church, we'll be okay.
Oh, consecrated ground.
Yes, there are a few places in this cursed land not tainted by darkness.
Well, let's make it a few more by the end of our trip here, shall we?
Are they touring?
So, you finish up your breakfasts. Irina quickly puts away the plates and she basically just shoves them on a sideboard somewhere. And Ismark goes over to the coffin and he takes the head. And he says a little help carrying this, if you wouldn't mind.
I go over and just go.
Oh, yeah. I'll take it up, too.
Okay, so at this point, because you two are both half-orcs and you're fucking huge, Ismark's more just stood in front. He's no longer holding it. He kind of puts a hand up just so he's touching it, but, you two have lifted it way above his shoulder height. And, Irina opens the front door and gestures you to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Imagine we follow.
Mm-hmm. Give me a sec while you do this. Shit. Okay, so you head out into the streets of Barovia. And it's not as dark as it was when you first arrived. It's somewhat brighter, although there is no direct sunlight. Imagine just a really crappy overcast day. So like a general day in Scotland. With less rain.
Yeah. I can't. You're not wrong.
So you head out into the street, and the street is paved for a little bit, but it soon goes into a well-worn dirt track. You walk again past Mary's townhouse, and this time there is no crying coming from inside. It's quiet. The streets are again empty and barren. No one is out. Even though it's the daytime, you'd expect to see maybe children or workmen going to and from their labor, or peddlers of goods. You don't see anything. They lead you past one certain street, and you do see a sign outside. And it says Bildrath's Mercantile.
Oh, is this the local store then?
Yes, it is. So Irina is keeping pace with you, Davalon. You know, she's behind you guys. So there's a coffin, there's Rahal, Irina, and Davalon. Says, yes, that's Bildrath's shop. He's a bit of an ornery old bastard. He, known to mark up prices, especially for adventurers. So just keep an eye.
Do you know if Donovich would have holy water?
I'm certain he would, yes.
Do you know if he has a furrow?
Probably. I haven't been in a while.
It's not a problem. I'm just thinking of ways that we can keep people a little safer without drawing too much ire from the man in the high castle.
Wow.
That wasn't meant to be a reference.
Wow. Okay. But as you are going down the street towards the church, you can now see a church. It's on a small hill. And it's the highest thing in the town. And it's there on the hill. And around it, there's a wall. There's an iron gate that looks like it's not fully closed. Like it can't properly close. However, looking directly past the church, you see mountain. And perched atop the mountain is a dark, oppressive, huge castle with parapets, and there's tattered banners flying from the walls, looming over the village.
Kerjak.
Yeah.
I know you're a little preoccupied right now, but would you say that looks flammable?
You can't set rock on fire, you numpty.
No, but you can set what's inside it on fire, you oaf.
Well, that's what's inside it, not the actual thing itself. So ask the right question and get the right answer.
Besides, most of these structures, as you know, they've got wooden support beams in. A couple of well-placed infernos within there, and all of the roofs will come down, and then it'll be rather drafty.
Again, that's what's inside it.
Well, it's still part of the structure, really, isn't it?
Probably. I don't build houses. I
I
normally
don't
knock them
It
down.
makes more sense, though, to take down the man instead of the castle.
If you do both.
Yeah, someone can use it.
Chandra, of all people, I would have thought you would have understood the concept of symbolism. You burn down the symbol can cause more damage than destroying the actual thing it represents.
She would
Oh, yeah.
redecorate.
But none of these lot like the symbol anyway.
Well, I know. That's why you
So
destroy the
getting
symbol.
rid of the...
You destroy the symbol. That's the thing that they see every day.
Stick another flag on it, and I'm sure they'll be fine.
I suppose that
smiley
could work
face.
as well. Hmm.
A little sunshine.
Philistines.
I think he likes us.
Oh, he loves us.
What does Philistine mean?
I have no idea.
Well,
Must be a compliment the way you said it.
while this
Quite a-
conversation is happening, sorry, Chandra, what are you saying?
Quite a walk to the chapel here.
It's a few more minutes. We'll be there. But yes, the castle is certainly something.
Tell me, you say that the one you call the devil can supposedly see everything in this land?
Yes.
Hmm. Excuse me, Mr. Devil? Yes, I'm going to come over there at some point in time in the near future and have a wonderful meal with you. I'm sure your castle will be quite the grounds for it. Do you have wine? Doesn't be at home right now. I got his answering machine.
I can't imagine anyone who would have you over after threatening to burn down the house.
I wasn't addressing them at that time, you know. There's some things you say to people and other things you say about people.
Where on earth were you raised?
Waterdeep. It's a big city.
Well, not big enough to teach manners, I suppose.
Big enough that teaching manners often gets you stabbed in the back street.
Anyway, after this conversation, you have now arrived at the chapel. Okay. Oh god, hang on. Shit. Atop a slight rise, against the roots of the pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenloft, stands a grey, sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end, and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises toward the back, and flickering light shines through holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. So as you approach the iron gates of the chapel, Ismark moves forward and pulls them open and ushers you guys through. He says, "Just go up to the main doors. I'll meet there in a second."
All right, and I push past the coffin at this point, and I go up to the main doors like Disney princess style, burst them both open. Good morning, Donovich. It's good to see you. I haven't met you before. Good morning, Donovich. I am Lathander, scion of the Morning Lord, paladin of his glorious faith and member of the Order of the Gauntlet, and I am here to spread the glorious faith of the One of the Dawn.
We also have a corpse.
As you
Also,
approach the chapel doors, before you get a chance to bleh, you hear from somewhere inside an inhuman scream.
Oh.
I still bust the doors open and say that and go, oh.
Oh. That just oh.
No, I say my whole diatribe, and then I realize what's just happened and go, oh.
Okay, so as your eyes adjust to the light, you can see that this chapel is pretty much destroyed inside. The pews are smashed, the ground is covered with debris. The stained glass right at the end where the altar is smashed. There's a few pieces remaining. In front of the altar, you hear, you see what appears to be the shape of an elderly man knelt in prayer. He's rocking backwards and forwards, and you can hear like soft prayers coming from his form. Somewhere beneath the general chapel, you hear this screaming. You hear, it sounds to be a young man in indescribable pain. He is screaming and screaming. He's like, Father, Father, please let me out. Father, Father, I'm so hungry. Father!
What the fuck?
Well, I'm a little hand-tied here and I can't investigate. So shall we put down the corpse, or would somebody like to investigate?
I'm
ready to put it down.
Ismark, Arena, could you possibly look after your father for a moment? It seems like we might have something to deal with here.
So at this point, everyone's heard it because it's so loud. Now the doors are open. You know, it's more open to the air. You can hear it. Ismark and Arena share a look, and you know, when you say, "Can you stay here while we investigate?" they nod, and as you put down the coffin, you know, they stay with it.
Can I make some form of perception check to see where the scream is coming from,
You
if I can get to that scream?
can.
I would love to do that.
I could if I didn't roll a natural one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Is
Good
this
thing
the
I wanted to do that
anti-Talavera? Is
too.
this what's happening? I'll be fucked.
No one's luck lasts forever, little druid.
I got
What'd you get, Jamie?
11.
11. Okay.
10.
10.
Die.
Okay, you can't tell exactly where it's coming from, but it seems to be beneath the floor of the main area of the chapel, in like an undercroft.
Is it wood?
Yes, the floor is wood.
I stand
Do
up.
I start hacking at the floor?
No.
Stand up.
I just stamp right through the floor with my metal shoes.
Okay, so if you want to both start attacking the floor to get through to this undercroft, then roll attacks.
This is really
Chandra,
great.
roll a
Strength?
strength
Just
check.
saying.
Kerchak, roll an
I'm going
attack.
to,
Whoops. I got 4.
as
Great
we're doing
hacks.
this, I'd like to
So-
approach the priest.
Okay, so
18.
Okay, so Davalan ignores the party and goes straight towards the kneeling form of the priest. Meanwhile, in the background, there's just chunk, chunk, chunk. As Kerchak and Chandra are trying to kick their way through the floor, and
I
so-
look up because I'm probably thinking the screams are coming from above with a 1. So
Such a confused party. So, while Kerchak and Chandra are hacking through the floorboards, Davalan.
I want to go up to the priest and just stand by his side, put his hand on his shoulder for a moment and go, "Excuse me, sir."
Okay, so as you approach, you hear like, "May the light of our Lord save my boy. May save us. The morning Lord will save us. Save us." Blah blah blah. He doesn't seem to react as you put your hand on his shoulder. He's so lost. You can see now as you get closer to him, tears have streaked down his face, and you can see that he's not been taking care of himself. So he's got dirty, and the tears have wiped away. You know, there's trails that have been cleaned by the tears. His robes are dirty, and you can see all around his knees are scuffed. And there's just like a small clean patch in front of this altar. You can tell he's been here for a long time.
Just look down at the gauntlet, because it's my right hand gauntlet with the Order of the Gauntlet symbol on the back, and I go, "Lathander, I hope you can hear me." I just squeeze hard on the man's shoulder and just drag him to his feet.
He goes, "Oh!" And then he turns around and he looks at you, and his face is a mixture of horror, surprise, and wonder. And he looks at you, and do you release him once he's up?
Yeah.
The second you release him, he drops back down to his knees, but not in prayer this time, as though he was supplicating, worshipping you. He says, "My lord, you've returned to us. You've come to free
No.
us. You've come to free us. My lord, my lord."
Well, it's true I've come to free you. I'm not your lord in any sense. Get back to your feet. You're a
And-
man of Lathander. What are you doing on the floor? It's like a worshipping Torm.
After a moment, he gets up and he says, "I'm sorry. I did not mean to displease you."
Listen. I would like you to listen to me very clearly here for a moment, because if you don't listen to me clearly, the reprobates back there are going to cut a hole in your lovely floor. Right. First off, first question. Answer quickly, answer simply. I don't want to deal any of your funny business. The Morning Lord has much work to do in this land. The first, why is the screaming coming down from below?
"It's my boy.
What's wrong with your boy?
He went off to fight the devil and he came back like that, a beast."
Does he have lucid thought? Can he speak?
"Yes,
Does he want to kill everything he meets?
he tried to bite me.
Are you the only person he's met since he got back?
I hope so."
Right. In that case, then, can you show me the entrance to the Undercroft? I want to go have a word with your boy.
"Yes, my lord. Yes, please save him. Please. I beg you. One thing. Just,
Kerchak? What?
just please save him."
Well, he'll be saved one way or the other. I can't guarantee that he won't be taking his trip to meet our Lord in Elysium.
He starts crying again, but he kind of pulls himself together for a second, and he reaches into his robes, and you see his hands are very skeletal and old and brittle, and he reaches in to a belt and he pulls out a loop of iron keys and he shakes as he tries to find the right one. He goes, "There's a trapdoor. Use this key."
Thank you. And I get down to my knees and I just look at him and go, "Look, I don't know what's about to happen with your son. But I will do what I can. However, if it comes to it, better to end his suffering and send him to the Morning Lord than to keep on going like this.
Yes, yes.
This town right now, it needs you. It's going to need you more, because there's about to be a lot of ire drawn from the devil onto this place because of our presence here. Because he knows that's my intentions with him, of course. So they're going to need you as a center of faith, because they're going to need some faith. So, pull yourself together. You have done this for a very long time. I know it seems like your Lord has abandoned you in this place. But remember, just because he does not say words does not mean he is not watching.
I will do what I must.
Good. Kerchak, Chandra, I know it's awfully fun to cut holes in floors, but this place is still kind of usable, so I'd prefer we don't turn it into a ruin. There's a trapdoor I can take you through.
So this place, the symbol that doesn't get burnt down, fine.
This is a good
We
symbol,
can
Kerchak.
just choose whatever symbol we want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly the point of it. You can choose your symbol. It's just some symbols are more evil than others, you know.
Meanwhile, you two have made a right mess of the floorboards. Like, they would be considered like difficult terrain, because if anyone heavy stood on them, straight through. You've chewed these things up, so they're very visibly damaged, and it's quite a big area because you're not small people.
Right,
Okay.
I'm gonna just go over to the.
Okay, so it's in the front area of the church where you come past. You come in through the main doors, you go up a bit, and then you're in the main chapel. There were smaller doors to the side, which you assume to be where some of the things, the ceremonial stuff is kept, and the priest's private chambers.
Right.
And when he gave you the keys, he pointed to the one on the far left.
Okay.
So he tells you that it's just in there, and it's a really obvious trapdoor. So you go inside, and you can see that it's secured with a very heavy chain and padlock, and that there are some scratches on the floorboards around it, as if whatever was put down here fought like hell to not be trapped down there.
Right. Kerchak,
Hmm.
I'm going to need you to help restrain this poor thing, to see if we can ascertain whether the best course of action is for you to put your axe in his head or for us to save him.
Fine. I'll put the axe away for now.
I promise, though, if he isn't savable, your axe can bury itself as hard as it can into its head.
Fair enough.
All the while, there's the screaming below hasn't stopped. It's been almost constant. Which explains probably why the priest is as rattled as he is, because this is not stopped.
Right.
Fair enough.
I unlock the door.
Okay.
I take the chain from him and wrap it around myself like a boa.
As the
I-
chains, as you begin to unlock and rattle the chains, and as Chandra picks them up to wrap them around herself fabulously, the screaming stops. And you lift the trap door. Below is pitch black. There is tiny little bits of light coming in, but not enough from the floorboards above, and now from the nice, new hole that has been fashioned by Kerchak and Chandra, but it's not lit down here.
Oh, I have night vision though. Can
I
I
just
roll a
jumped-
perception check?
Same.
I just jumped down. I have night vision.
See
Alright.
nothing.
Yeah, same.
I produce a flame so I can. I see nothing.
I got 15.
Alright. Okay. So, in the corner, Chandra, what you all see basically, because you've all lit it up now, is you see an undercroft. There's like small packages and barrels just stored, just bits and bobs. But in the far corner, as far away as possible from the stairs, you see a terrified looking young man. He can't be more than 20. He's gaunt. He's clawed at himself, so he's bleeding. And he looks at you and hisses and retreats as far back as he can.
What is the most contemporary pop song
Are you
to
asking
this
him
era? No, I'm asking you. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it on my dulcimer.
that? I don't know. I don't know what would be contemporary in vampire times in Barovia.
Is there anything I've heard?
Probably Wham.
Well, I mean, you'd heard the song the Vistani had played. You know,
I
there's
can play
usual
that.
jolly tavern music you've heard in your travels.
Rasputin.
I'll play something happy from one of the taverns.
Okay. He's still very, very suspicious of you guys. Like, he's in like a defensive posture. His hands are raised, and you can see that instead of like nails, like his nails have gone very long, so he's got like claws. And as he hisses at you, you can see that his teeth, he has fangs.
When he next hisses, I just crack all my knuckles. Like, hey, shut up.
Excuse me, what's your name?
And he sort of... I'm Doru.
Well, Doru. My name is Davalan, Paladin of Lafanda. I'm with your father. He sent me down here to make sure you're okay.
Fat swine. I'll kill him.
You're
I'll kill them all.
Now, you won't be killing anyone.
Kill you.
I doubt that, but tell me, why are you down here?
I came home to my father, and he locked me down here. I'm so hungry.
Well, I have some dried meats, a little bit of cheese, maybe some bread, a few nuts. Would you like a bit to eat?
Your blood. It sings. Give me it. I want it. Give me it.
Now, we can't
I'd
always
like to
get
pull
what
out
we want.
At that, I'd like to pull out a javelin and just turn to the group and say, I mean, we could always use him as target practice until he calms down.
I know, Jack, I know. We've got to do what we can here, you know? There's hardly any people left as it stands. I'm afraid you can't have any blood. It's not really the sort of things that young boys like you should be eating. Tell me, what happens up there in the castle?
Wouldn't you like to know? Oh, you'll find out. The master will come for you. Yeah, he will.
I'd quite like you to tell me, if you don't mind.
And if you could put it in the form of a song, dearie.
Why are you talking so much? Just give me...
Talking is generally a good way to resolve problems. But it seems like you have a problem.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Well, if it's blood you want, I'm afraid we can't do much about that unless someone here is willing to give you some. I don't think anyone's willing to give you some.
I just look at you like,
I haven't got that much tall and thin, you know, it's...
Getting tired of the talking. If you won't give me it, I'll have to take it.
What do you think, Jack?
I feel like he's threatening us. That's not nice.
He's certainly threatening us, that's for sure. What would you put this down as? Defensive? Self-defense?
Rude.
Endangering an officer?
Feed me or free me.
Well, we're going to try and do the latter. You appear to be under the grips of some sort of metamorphosis.
You can see that he's like, he's shivering, he's shaking. He's twitching a lot. His expression changes from 1 minute to that of pure aggression to terror to desperation.
Hal, you're generally quite savvy with the natural things. Is there anything you can give this boy?
I have never seen anything like this.
Me
Look
neither.
at him. He has fangs.
He
I'm
does.
I mean,
What do we do then?
No, I don't have that. I don't know. I transform into a tiger because I can't see anything at all in here.
You've got a light up, haven't you?
I do, but if I'm absolutely ready to fight, and if that light is out, I won't be able to. This is not going to end well. So that's the last thing I say, and then
I would like to cast Detect Poison and Disease.
Okay. Alright.
Is he diseased or poisoned in any way?
I'm not certain that vampirism counts as a disease. It's more of a...
If I
stage
don't
of
see any
life.
disease, if I don't see any disease, can I use my divine sense to see if there's any fiends, undead?
You absolutely can. Again, it fucking sucks to do, but you do it. And he is undead, man. He ain't with the living.
Kerchak,
Hmm?
the founder calls his name.
What?
Kill him.
What?
He's just like that shambling thing we met outside, although a little more complete.
while they talk, I
Oh,
pounce.
right.
Okay, all right. Because this entire point, like, Doru has been getting more and more, like, aggressive in his body positioning. He's leant forward. He has, a hand out. His fangs are bared, and he looks like himself. He's like ready to pounce. So, I would like everybody
As soon as
to...
Davalin says,
Yep. Roll
Kill him.
initiative.
Okay.
I got 7.
What did Doru get? Jesus. Okay, so 25 to 20.
22.
22. Very nice. That's down. 20 to 15. 15 to 10.
10.
14.
Okay. And then that's Brahal. I nearly wrote miss. And Chandra, what did you get?
7.
7. Okay. I will bring us across to the battle map.
Woo. Battle map.
Battle map.
You already did.
No, I know you guys, but Strimmer didn't.
Oh.
Right. Okay. So top of the round, we have Davalin.
I would like to pull out my rapier and my buckler.
Yep.
Stand in a combat stance.
Yep.
And use ready action to ready until they get closer.
Okay.
They being,
Doru.
I can't remember his name, that's it, Doru.
Okay. So that's Davalin. Kerchak.
Well, I already said I had a javelin out, so I may as well chuck that at him before I run over.
All right. Okay, doke.
Give it a heave and a hoe.
Well, that's the attempt. 17?
17 will hit.
Yeah. Okay, so was a javelin, it's a d6. For that, it's going to be 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. Very nice.
I think
Yes.
something as big as a javelin would do more than like a d6 of damage.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Damn it! I should have done that first. I'll rage next round. Bugger it.
All right.
You can
You
rage
can
now.
do it as a bonus, yeah.
It's bonus
Oh
action.
right, yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
I thought that was after level 3. Oh well, yeah.
Eh.
I'll bonus action rage.
I
then,
don't know
and,
anything about
run over.
barbarians, so.
My first time.
It's a bonus action.
In that case, yeah, I'll use my movement to get. Still. I can't move my thing.
Oh shit! Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, bonus action.
There you go. I'll just
Melee.
quickly need to do this for everyone.
Melee weapon attack.
Can you
is
move it
7
now? There you go.
Yeah, I can. So yeah, rage and end up there.
All right. Okay, so after that, it is now Rahal.
Yeah, run and pounce and try and knock him prone.
Sweet.
the
Are you
claw cat.
in kitty cat form?
I'm in kitty cat form.
Sweet.
It's 40 feet.
Oh man, now I'm not going to get to attack.
And hold on. This is a lot of numbers. So that's 13 plus 5, 18 to hit.
18 definitely hits.
It's 8 slashing damage.
8. Very nice. Very
And he
nice.
has to make a DC 13 strength save or
Okay.
is not prone.
Let me see how he does. What was that? DC
13.
13. He makes that saving throw.
Okay.
Oh,
He's
shit,
not
shit, shit.
prone.
Okie dokie. So, is that it? Your turn? Want to do anything else? Can you do anything else?
Snarl, and that's it.
Cool.
Just-
And you see him actually kind of flinch a tiny bit as you roar at him after just pouncing on him. Now it's his turn, and what he will do... He is going to swipe at you with Rahal with his claws. And on the second one, he's going to attempt to grapple you. So the first, that's a natural 20.
Well,
I'm sorry.
that's fine.
So the first one hits you for... Oh boy. You are hit for 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And I's going to attempt to hit you on the second attack, and with the second attack, it will be a grapple. So that is 15 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, so you need to make either a athletics or acrobatics check.
I'll be making athletics as a strength-based one, right?
Okie dokie, yeah.
So rolled a 19
Okay.
plus 2, 4, 3.
Well,
Plus 3.
you beat him. He comes in, after clawing at you with one hand, he comes in with the other and attempts to complete and make a grapple, but you slip out of his grasp. So there was no damage on that second one because he tried to hug you instead. With
kitty cat, that's
this, he
understandable.
is then going to, just bear with me 1 second, got a bit of dust in my throat. Sorry about that. Okay, so for his movement, he is going to attempt to... he starts to move backwards and climb up the wall to get away from you. And he moves across the wall. He moves up 10 feet, because I think the ceiling's only 10 feet. So he gets to the ceiling and moves across to... to there. So he shimmies across here. Bleh. So you do get an attack of opportunity as he moves past your melee range. So do you, Kerchak, because he moved in and out of your melee range.
Yeah.
I shall.
At this point,
Yeah,
I will
swipe
be
at him.
using the axe.
Yep.
Nah, not with a 9, I think.
Nope, 9 does not hit.
Well, mine will be a 15.
15 hits.
Yeah. 10
very
points. 10 points
10
of slashing
points.
damage.
Very nice. And he hisses as you bring your axe down across his back as he scurries past you on the wall. Like a spider. Okay, so that brings us to Chandra. You're up.
So I am playing that nice pop song, but then I start singing a melody that's completely opposite it
Mm-hmm.
and cast Dissonant Whispers.
Ooh, nice.
And then I forgot, it's been so long. I roll a 20 to see if the spell is successful.
No,
So it's saving throw, I think, isn't it?
it's a saving throw.
Is it
Okay.
wisdom?
It is a saving throw of wisdom, yeah. And they have to beat I think it's 15
What's
now,
your
maybe?
what's your charisma?
My charisma is 16, so it's a +3.
So that's a 13.
Okay, he does not make that saving throw, so roll your damage.
Ooh.
Okie dokie.
Ooh.
That is 11.
11, very nice. And you actually see him claw at his head, and he starts screaming again. He goes, "Make it stop!" Ah!"
Ooh. It also has to move away as far as it can from Chandra.
I think he is about as far as he can get. Oh no, he... With the full movement, right?
Yeah.
So he has to move his full movement. Jesus. He's back in the corner.
Strategy. Oh, does he get a attack of opportunity?
They've
for
already
going
had their
back
reaction.
across?
Yeah, we've already
round.
used it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can't have more than one in 5th edition.
So he's just scurried past you across the wall, and now he's come running back on the floor, clawing at his head, screaming in agony. Okay, so that brings us back to the top of the round. Davalan.
Ugh. Okay, I'm just gonna move up as far as I can.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna ready an attack action again
If he comes
because
near.
I can't. Yeah, if he comes near.
Gotcha.
Because I can't actually get close to him right now.
Gotcha. Kerchak.
I would like to move all the way up into that corner and then take another swing at him.
Yep.
You're all just
screw it,
conspiring
I'm gonna-
against me.
Yeah. I'm going to do this reckless because I can do that now. 21.
21. Yeah, that'll just hit.
Yeah. Yeah, just.
Just.
And I'll remember to add my rage damage this time as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be 13 points of damage.
13. Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Maths is hard.
Yeah, I can't do anything as a bonus really, so I'll just leave it at that. Just growl at him back.
And at this, from the timid boy you'd seen before, the boy inside that was terrified and scared, is now just replaced by this mask of just seething hatred. In response to your growl, to show he's not intimidated, he rakes a hand up his body, cuts himself, and then licks at his fingers before he lunges at you, getting ready to strike. Rahal.
I'll try and... Can I actively try and knock him? Is he still on the wall, technically?
No, he's on the floor now. He's stood on the
Still on
ground.
the floor. Okay. Can I actively try and knock him over? And make him fall
Yeah.
without the charge, without the pounce.
It's just a shove action.
Yeah,
Shove action? I'll do that.
Stu, how the fuck do you do a shove action?
It's a strength check, I believe.
Okay.
Check. Let me check.
Never mind, it's a natural one.
Alright, okay.
What is this? Why? It's the same dice I roll for Nis. Why is this happening?
Rahal is the
No, no, shove
anti-ness.
I know.
Oh, it's like a grapple. It's
It functions like a
athletics.
grapple.
It's athletics versus athletics or acrobatics.
Okay. So as Rahal, as you come in to try and just knock him down, he just steps aside. He's still focused right on Kerchak, staring him right in the eyes. And it's now his turn, and he is going to lunge at you, Kerchak. He is going to try to rip your face off with one of his claws.
And he has advantage.
And he has advantage, which is good because he rolled very low. So that's going to be 24 to hit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and that will do... He does... Oh man, what? It's nothing, man. 7 points of slashing damage as he rakes his
'cause I'm
claws
raging.
around you, across you. Half because you're raging. And now, on his second attack, he is going to try to latch onto you. So the second attack, it's 20-something, 25 to hit. So you need to roll a strength check right now, if you could. Athletics.
Do you have advantage on?
Yep. Well, I might not need it. Yeah. Strength check will be 22.
Ooh, he got a 20, not natural. That's close. So he again tries to connect again and get this grapple on you guys. And as he does, his teeth snap in the air you can sense that he's trying to get hold of you so he can bite down upon you. But you knock him away and he stumbles back.
Not today, bitch.
He is again going to climb up the wall behind him and scurry on down over here. He still can't get close to Chandra, right?
No, he can. It doesn't.
Okay.
Oh,
Just for one round.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna move.
And this is a
over
new round
here.
in it as well.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen Dissonant Whispers cast.
It's just for a round. I use it.
Okay, so he's scurried over
Well,
there.
It's a good
Rahal
spell.
and Kerchak do get attacks of opportunity because he has left your melee range.
Cool.
Well, that's going to be
I'll try and bite him this time.
22.
Okay, 22 does hit.
Ooh, that could only be 1 point better. 15 points of damage.
15, hot damn, dude.
D12's like me. I might have to play barbarians more often just to use these.
Barbarian.
He screams in agony as your axe rakes down his back as he flees. Rahal, what did you get?
21.
21, yep, that'll hit.
9 damage piercing.
9 damage, very nice.
With a different die.
He
You just need to find the right die for this
screams
character.
As your tiger teeth impale into his leg as he flees, he screams in absolute agony, but scurries away. And you can see now that he is, while before he was like twitching and shaking, now he's like limping slightly, and blood is trickling out of his mouth, and he looks really beat up.
how much?
But
How much
actually,
clothing
everyone
is he wearing?
He's wearing tattered shirts and trousers that are all torn up. I need you all to just roll me a perception check. Actually, not Rahal, because you won't be able to see him.
I mean, I do have dark vision if that's the issue. As a
Do you?
tiger.
Oh, yes,
That's
you
why.
do.
Yeah, that's why I went tiger.
Okay, no.
I got a natural 20.
Oh, Jesus.
I rolled a 19.
I
I see
got
everything.
24.
Okay, as you look him over, his limp sort of straightens, and some of the wounds begin to close on his body, and he just. Okay, next up, Chandra.
Okay. I'm going to. Can I, like, throw a thing and then also cast a spell, or is it just one action?
It's just one action. So if you were to throw a thing, that would be an action.
Okay. Then I'm gonna do Dissonant Whispers again.
Yep.
And yep.
Keep pushing him back into the corner.
Wisdom saving throw. That's a saving throw of 15, so he would make that.
He still takes half damage though,
Yeah.
so you still roll the damage.
But the fear effect doesn't go into effect, does it? He just gets.
It does not.
He'll take 7
7
psychic damage.
Okay. Okay. He again is he looks at you, and he's like through his teeth. Do you want to move? Do a bonus action? Anything?
I have a plan, but how long is the chain I have? It's maybe like 8 feet, I think.
Yeah, it's not like a massive chain, but like about 8 feet,
Yeah.
about 10 feet in total, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
It is what it is.
Alright, okay, so after Chandra, we're back to Davalan. He's within your range.
Quietly step forward, and then I'm going to lunge with the rapier.
Nice. Tight.
That's a 20.
What's this?
Hi.
Natural 20,
Fucking hell.
very nice. Roll your damage. We do the double dice, double the dice total crit roll thing.
Oh, right, okay. I'm also going to smite on this as well.
Jesus Christ, you're going to destroy the poor boy.
I feel like that might be the plan. I'm not entirely certain.
Okay, so... Alright, let's see. So 10 points of piercing damage.
Uh-huh.
And then 28 points of radiant damage.
28 points of radiant damage. Okay,
How do you manage that?
let me just...
2 sevens on 2d8. Which is 14, and then double because it's a crit.
Okay, you lunge forth with your rapier and you sink it straight into where his heart is. And he looks down for a moment in confusion, looks up at you and screams. And it's a horrible, horrible, piercing scream. You release the rapier, he slumps, but then he shakingly stands back up, just clinging on with what little he had left.
Okay. Alright then. With the bonus action I have,
Yeah.
I have the free action, I'm just going to drop my shield and just bonus action 2-weapon fighting to stab him with the dagger.
Alright, okay. Roll to hit. Roll your attack.
This is over 20. 19,
A lot.
22.
Okay, that
22.
hits.
Okay. Go, 1d4 plus nothing. 2.
2. That's
My camera's
exactly
on.
what you needed.
Yeah!
So as you release the rapier and then you go in the second time with the dagger, he clutches at it and he leans into your face and goes, I go to my master.
No. You go to the Morning Lord. And close his eyes.
Okay, and his corpse just on the ground. You look down and
Kerchak feels cheated.
you see that in death his features have softened, and he doesn't look as filled with hate and fury anymore. He looks maybe like he once have done before this happened to him. He still has the long claws, he still has the fangs, but in death he has peace.
Just pull up the rapier and wipe it off on a cloth. Put it away. What an unfortunate circumstance.
Did someone notify his father?
I did let him know that this might be an action. Unfortunately, it seems he had turned undead, and in that case, there's nothing that we can do for him. His spirit was shattered.
Should we bury him?
I think that would be best.
Alright. So do you scoop up Doru and bring him up top?
Yeah, do what I can with my little cloth to clean the blood off of him, to make him look a bit more presentable.
I mean, even before you guys had started fighting, he looked horrible. Like, he had been clawing at himself. You'd see like there's a vicious wound in his neck. Not caused by anything you could see, and he certainly didn't do it to himself. But you can see finger where he'd scraped at his own skin, and he's raked himself, and you know, he looked a fright before you guys had put a lot of holes in him.
Can I like make him some nice funerary clothes that kind of disguise that a little?
You could certainly whip up like a quick shroud with your kit.
While they're doing that, I kind of really want the fangs. Just to be like, you bastard hissing at me.
Do you go
Burying
and
his
pop
fangs,
his
I'll
fangs
keep them.
out?
I'll have them.
Alright. Okay. Yeah, go for
But
it.
next
yeah.
one that shows up, I can just show him the fangs. It's like, you really want to go?
Kerchak, let's wait until after we've shown him to his father before you... Actually, I'm in two minds about this.
Okay, cool.
What do you used to do though? Certainly not your axe, because his face would just be mush if you did.
Finger?
Do you have like a dagger or something? I assume everyone has daggers.
Yeah, I have 6.
Of course you do.
I just pinch one of his daggers in.
Careful, it's a masterwork dagger.
Using it for a dental tool.
Okay, so you
They're like fine stilettos.
it takes a little bit of wiggling, but you do manage to pop out his fangs.
Cool. I keep them.
Okay.
They're mine now.
Okay, so as you bring up Doru's body from upstairs, you see again that Donovich it looked like he started to tidy up upstairs, like he was trying to put things back. The altar, the candlesticks on top of it were, set right, and he'd put candles and lit them. But it seems half done, as if when the fighting started, he abandoned what he was doing, and he's waiting for you at the top of the trapdoor. So who's going out first? Of course. Is Kerchak carrying
carry
Doru?
the kid.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what
Donovich.
happened? Where's my boy? Where is he?
The Count has put a curse on your boy that we could not rescind.
It was as I had feared. The devil took him. Did he go peacefully?
Yes.
I made sure to do as best a job of that as I could.
Oh, I thank you. I thank
He's
you.
with the Morning Lord now.
Yes. Please, come, sit. My lord, please.
I am not your lord.
You are, are you not? You are not Lord Sunstar? Come, returned to free us?
I'm afraid I don't know that name. Tell me. We'll have to sit. after we have finished with the funerary acts for your son, you must sit and tell me about this Sunstar.
Yes, if you are not him, then, well, you look.
I
a
shall
lot
endeavour
like
to
him.
be as much like him as I can.
Well,
At the very least, I'm going to put this blade, and I tap my rapier, into the heart of the devil, and I'm going to do it out of an act of revenge for your son.
well. Thank you. Shall we shall we perform the rites?
Yes, and outside, Ismark and Arena are waiting. Their father died some days ago, and we were bringing him here today in order to ask you to perform rites on him as well.
Oh, Kolyan. He was a good man. Very well. I will. There are graves built around the back, dug, ready. Take Doru and Kolyan around there, and I'll meet you in a few moments.
As you wish.
You hear as Izzy turns and goes off to get ready to perform the funeral rites. You hear some small sobs and sniffles, and you see him wipe at his face a little bit. But he goes and he collects the stuff. Ismark and Irina are like waiting outside, but Irina's got like a hand on her sword, like she's heard the fight and she's half ready to charge in there. But Ismark is kind of like, Irina, sister, please don't. Come on, you need to stay here. Don't get killed. But as you guys come out to take the body around the back, you know, they're like, "Are you okay? What happened in there? Where's Donovich? What?" We heard screaming, and then more screaming, and then silence.
Oh, well, I don't know how to put this, but the good priest's son had, well, a strange mark on his neck that had caused him to grow fangs and long claws, and it gripped him with a sort of madness.
This Arena is like, that's what he wants of me. Well, did you end his suffering?
As quick as we could, yes.
Good. I knew the boy. I knew Doru. He was a nice boy. Bit of an
It seems like
idiot,
there's a
but-
lot. Seems like all of the nice people in this town have unfortunate circumstances about them.
Rahal, are you still a tiger?
Yeah.
Sweet. As you pad out to Ismark and Arena, they're kind of like, "Oh, where did what is?"
They're licking the blood off the paw.
Oh,
Can I just ask you what that is?
down, boy. Sit. I-
Licking the blood off the paw and ignore that.
That's Rahal.
Oh,
She does that sometimes.
oh. Ismark comes up and he goes, "Can I?" I
I
just
cannot
turn
tell
back.
a lie.
I turn back. No.
All right, sorry.
Thanks for asking.
I didn't know if it was like an illusion or if I don't know. That's quite impressive.
It's like-
though.
It's like Animorphs.
No. Is that I've heard
Animorphs is
of.
the best.
So are
to
you? I don't know what this creature is, but are you like aware whatever that is? Like I've heard of werewolves, ravens.
Have I heard of werewolves? Just see how I can react to that.
No. From your sheltered
where-
upbringing in the woods, you wouldn't have heard.
Yeah. Aware what?
You know, like men and women who turn into wolves, like big, mean wolves, not like your normal puppy wolf. Like, I mean, normal wolves are big and mean, but like bigger and
Yeah.
meaner wolves.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's me.
cool.
And spiders and cats and rats and animals.
Wow.
Would I know about were creatures?
Roll a history check.
Oh, I'm good at these. Am I good at these?
Are you good at these?
I'm not good at these. I'm not good at these. 6.
6. You don't really. You've heard the term werewolf in your time in the Order of the Gauntlet, but you don't know what they
I fell
are.
asleep in that class.
Yeah, you're asleep in that lecture. You've not got to that page in your bestiary just yet.
Oh,
Is
man,
that-
but those pages are the best.
Is that what you call druids in this land?
Well, no, we have druids. But no, they don't do it. It's not something that most of them want to do. It's another. Hey,
Why do
like
they
in
do
the
it then?
land of Barovia, it's just another curse. You know, we're fucking lousy with them.
Yeah. No, I don't. Not where I come from. I mean, not everyone can do this, but
Yeah, we've not. Time was, and this was before any of this, so I don't even know if this is real. I don't even know. They say time was when druids used to live quite peacefully here.
you said you do have druids. What are they doing here?
No one's heard from them in hundreds of years.
Hundreds.
Well, he, and he points at the castle, has been here hundreds of years.
Well, if
Yeah.
they're anything like my druids back at home, they just tuck their tail and run away whenever there's something happening. And from what I mean, no offense, but from what I've seen so far, that seems to be the general approach to things in this
I've
place.
been here hundreds of years as well.
Yeah, longer than you. I can pretty much guarantee it.
Fine.
Anyway, can we bury my dad now?
Yes, we're just waiting on Donovich to prepare the funerary rites.
Alright. And as we wait for Donovich, we're going to go to a quick break. So back in a minute. Right. Thank you for joining us after that short break. So, where we last left it, Kerchak, Chandra, and Donovich were around the back of the church in the graveyard, making the preparations for the burials, plural, while Rahal and Davalan were with Ismark and Irina and their father's body at the front. So, as Davalan, Rahal, Ismark, and Irina bring the coffin round the back of the graveyard, Donovich is there. He's stood near two open graves. There is no family plot for Kolyan, which in Faerun would be weird, because someone of a title, someone who runs a town, would have some sort of designated burial area. But you get the sense when looking around the graveyard that this is quite overpopulated, that this graveyard gets a lot of use, and there is no distinction between the highborn and the peasant here.
Very Presbyterian of them.
But that's none of my
Fair
business.
enough.
Nice to see
Not
the
a word,
bourgeoisie are treated as
Rahal.
equals here. Up with the
In
proletariat.
the end, we all end up in the same place.
Let's not bring communism to Barovia, Stuart. I hate you. Okay, so Donovich, motions for Kerchak to lower Doru's body, and he does the same for Kolyan's body to be lowered into the graves. It's getting towards midday now, and you would expect it to be much brighter, but it's not. If anything, it seems darker right now. The mist, the fog is in, and it's really heavy and thick. Not quite as it was when you first entered Barovia, but it's pretty thick. And around, you can hear the cawing of birds. And I need you all to roll me a perception check, actually.
It's a 4. Whoops. 8.
10.
18.
Okay, what'd you get, Jamie?
9.
9. Okay, Davalan, I think you're pretty much the only one that spots this. Everyone's pretty much preoccupied with the burials. You can see, just glancing around the graveyard, a large black bird perched atop one of the grave markers. And the marking is very worn away. You can't really see much, but you can just make out a name. You see Delisnia.
Okay.
The bird stays there, and it doesn't caw, it doesn't make sound, it doesn't move. It's just sat perched, watching you.
When you say, did you mean blackbird or blackbird?
Not like a blackbird, like a raven or a crow. You can't really tell what type of corvid it is, but it's definitely a large black-coloured bird perched atop this grave marker.
Sort of nudge Rahal slightly. Sorry to interrupt at this, but that bird over there is staring at us.
Can I look and see?
Yep. You look across. You don't see
Is
a
it
bird.
normal bird behavior?
You don't see a bird.
What are you talking about? There's no bird.
There was a grave over there. There was a large black corvid on top of it.
Is it still there?
Is it still there?
No.
It appears to have gone now, but it was certainly not a natural bird.
Yeah. Birds in a graveyard. That is strange.
Do birds usually make noises?
How long was it there for?
How long was it there for since when I saw it?
A few seconds. You don't know how long it's been there. You just noticed it. But
Right.
it was literally a few seconds between you noticing it, telling Rahal it had gone.
Look, I am not a superstitious sort, but that bird seemed funny to me.
Right. No, I mean, the fact that you think you're not a superstitious sort is
I'm not a superstitious sort. I know what is and isn't real. It's
Yeah, like dawn. So yeah. What would you like me to do about the black bird
Once we've-
staring at you? Finally.
I just think we should go have a look at that grave once we've finished here.
Okay.
You could at least try and sound like you trust me.
Do I see them whispering back and forth?
But why would I put the effort in?
I just, I'm gonna shush them really loudly.
And as you shush them, Donovich steps forward. He has a small prayer book in his hands, and and he begins his sermon. And a lot of it is, to most of you, just the usual kind of religious waffle. You know, the light of the morning Lord touches us all, and the sun must set on some
Okay.
lives, and he will go into the afterlife, and he will be safe and free from the horrors of Barovia, and finally his soul will be at rest, blah, blah, blah. And it's, you know, like, Devlin, it's a bit touching for you, you know, it's a sermon, it's God shit, you're all about that life. It's good hearing it. But for the rest of you, it's just, and the Lord will say upon thee. The ceremony doesn't take a huge amount of time. You get the feeling that funerals are kind of an expedited process in Barovia. They're pretty quick. And you don't know whether that's because people don't want to be outside a lot, or whether there's just so many of them, or what. But they're not a long drawn out affair. And Donovich throws in a bit of dirt upon Doru's grave, and Irina and Ismark do the same for Kolyan. And Donovich presents a shovel to Kerchak and says, "I am sorry, my friend, but Doru used to dig the graves. If you could do me the honor."
Aye, why not? While I'm here.
So,
Turn into a badger.
I've been working on the rail.
it's a funeral! So as Kerchak begins to fill in the graves, Donovich takes Ismark and Irina to the side, and you know he checks to see if they're doing all right. You know, how are you doing with your father's passing, and how are you coping? And he sees that Irina although she has her collar pulled up, she's wearing like a high-necked tunic with like some ruffles, and she's still wearing like trousers and stuff. She's not all damsel-y. She's wearing practical clothing, but she's making sure to wear a high collar. But Donovich did notice that the bandage sticking out the top. And he very gravely, and he says this loud enough for you guys to hear that's going on. You must take her to Kresk. It's fortified, and it's the last holy place we have. Take her, hide her from the monster.
Krisk.
No, I think he said crisp.
Kresk.
Kresk.
K-R-E-Z-K. Kresk.
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 Yes, it's like a pancake.
Crisp.
You're the worst foreigners ever.
I just stop mid-digging, look over my shoulder, dirty looks, and get back to digging.
Ismark is like, to the Abbey? The Abbey? Is there anyone there anymore? I heard it was abandoned and long ruined. Which Donovich says, no, the Abbot will protect her. He is special. He is the last of the cult of the Morning Lord.
Excuse me, but the Morning Lord's not a cult. It's a statewide religion.
And what's the difference?
Well, one's a profession, the other's mental sickness.
Oh, so it's a profession, so you're making money.
Same.
I do make money from this, yes.
Get back to digging.
Saving the world is my job.
do better.
Knock one down for
Meanwhile,
courtesy.
Donovich is
I
walking
am.
Irina
I
and like,
am. Way ahead of you.
you know that video of that guy that just goes bing, bat, boom, and everyone's like, oh, that they won't. No, they're not. They're not.
I was picturing more Puss in Boots. That one cat that goes.
Okay, so you're saying, the Morning Lord is not a cult, and he says yes, but there is a cult of the Morning Lord. They were led by our Lord, Sunstar. They freed us, albeit temporarily.
And for how long?
Well, the records were destroyed, but sometime.
And how long ago?
Hundreds of years past? Certainly not in my lifetime.
And you said he looked rather similar to myself.
Yes. Beautiful golden elf. Oh,
Oh, we'll never hear the end of that.
From over digging, I get so beauty is subjective. Get back to digging.
he was fair and wise, though afflicted.
Afflicted by what?
Vampirism.
Damn.
I see. And where does he rest now?
Well, we don't know. He disappeared.
None of the Dawn Lord truly disappear. He's around here somewhere, I know it.
Well, if
Did you
find
say
him-
he wasn't affected by the vampirism?
No, he was.
He was afflicted.
Yeah, he
was
was
a vampire.
afflicted.
Yeah.
But it didn't kill him?
No, he was ancient, like the devil.
Huh. So I think I know who should go first from here on out.
It's Kerchak, isn't it?
No.
Well, his being ancient is probably just due to the fact that he's an elf. We're all like that. I'm over 100 myself.
Wow.
Do I know that that's not very old at elf years?
I don't know. Were there any
Probably.
elves in your druid tribe? I imagine they would be, one or two.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. You know that he's basically a toddler.
I'm not basically a toddler.
So wait,
I'm
wait.
187.
Alright, okay. He's a teenager then.
Young
That
adult.
explains so
You're
much.
just over 100, Davalin?
No, I'm almost 200, in fact. 187.
Right.
I'm about your
Right.
age if we're talking in conversions. I assume.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you're just... Never mind.
As it stands, though, it seems like... I have some thinking to do. It seems things will not be as straightforward as we originally thought.
Nothing ever is.
Yeah, you can say that again. That's a figure of speech.
He was like, huh. Meanwhile, Ismac and Irina have been talking quietly with themselves, and they've been sort of arguing a little bit. Irina is she certainly appears a bit more aggressive than her brother, and she's like, Ismac, I can't leave. I can't leave you here. What would you do? You don't. I can't. Leave
Actually,
you. All I have.
you're both coming.
And in unison, what?
Well, yes, because if you leave one of you behind, they become a bargaining chip.
Well, who will... And this is his mark. He steps forward. Well, who will lead the town? Who will be the burgomaster? It's... I have to do this. I have to stay here. We need something.
Donovich, how many people are left in this town?
Donovich is like... 100, perhaps. It
And how
dwindles
many
by
of
the
them?
day.
How many of them are sound of mind?
Oh, that's hard to tell.
Would you say
Oh.
over half?
Yes.
How are you leading them exactly?
And Ismac is like, you could tell that he's not quite ready for this responsibility. So he's looking, he chews the inside of his mouth. He's like, I don't know. I take over the responsibilities of my father. Collect taxes. Help protect people. Get reinforced. I don't know.
As it stands, Ismark, you'd be better served helping your sister. Staying here, there's going to be only one place you're going to end up. In there, with a grave being dug by him.
That's not my job.
You're so good at it.
I'm filling them in, not digging them.
And Irina takes his arm. She says, "He's right, brother. If you stay here, he'll come for you to get at me. He will hurt you. He will destroy you, and I can't let that happen. We're the only things we have left. I only have you. That's all I have." And they have a moment, and they have a hug, and he's like, I know. And then he turns to you, you the party. He says, "Will you help us?"
I'd already assumed we were.
We've already asked a lot of you.
He has a special interest in you, yes, Irina?
Yes, he does.
And I have a special interest in putting my blade in his throat. And if he has a special interest in you, he's going to want to get at you. So, if I stand between you and him, he's going to come to you, which means he has to go through me, at which point I free this place for a period of time, and then spend a while figuring out exactly how to make it free for a longer period of time.
Hate to say it, but I'm with the horrible elf.
Yeah, me too. Personally, I see it like it's a good challenge. And hey, if I'm on the way and he's there and he fails, I get to watch that. If he's there and he succeeds, well, I guess I was there when something good happened. Yay.
I'm just here for the stories.
And at that, you see like a really small smile creep across Irina's face. And she says, "We don't have a lot, but we could pay you. I mean, at least we could arrange for food and drink. You won't go without."
If you're coming with us, there is one thing I would ask of you. Write all this down. I can use it to get my salary when we get back.
All right.
I belong to an ancient order of paladins. It's known as the Order of the Gauntlet. We are sworn to protect all those in need and innocent from the great evils of the world. In return for our efforts, the great countries of Faerun and beyond pay us for our deeds in order to help us make our way. But we have to record these. Quite often we travel with bards from the Harpers in order to help with that. Unfortunately, we have a bard here, but they're more of the songstress type.
I'll gladly sing your tales to your superiors.
think that would be a fun concert.
I wouldn't leave a thing out. Not insulting our hosts. Not missing monsters. Not a single thing.
My reputation already precedes me when it comes to the order.
Well, that sounds very noble for mercenaries.
We're not mercenaries.
You're paid to complete contracts. That's mercenary work, but that's...
She's right. It does sound quite mercenary-ish.
I don't do it for the coin.
Okay.
Just a happy side effect.
If you wouldn't mind, we have literally just buried our father, and we're planning to escape. Can we just have 10 minutes?
Of course. One last thing before I go, though.
What?
What's your favorite flower?
I don't know.
Right, mine's the white rose. If I die, bury me with a white rose.
All right.
If I die, if you die, I'll bury you with whatever flower, since you can't figure it out yourself.
Look around. Where are the flowers here? Where in my life would I have seen flowers? I grew up here.
I don't know, a painting, maybe?
There is no beauty. There is no light. There is no joy here.
Is
Please.
there
Can I-
Here she goes again.
Can I pick him
there-
up and carry him away to, like, let them have a moment of peace?
If you want to contest it, Davlan, here's a chance.
Yeah, I would like to contest it.
Okay, Chandra, roll athletics. Davalan, athletics or t'other one, acrobatics.
acrobatics?
Okay. That is 14.
15.
Go.
So you feel Chandra start to loop her arm around your waist to lift you up, but you duck out of the way quickly.
Going now. Well, I'm going now anyway. It's fine.
Is there any flower, withered, or just anything at all I could make bloom with druidcraft?
Not really much around here. There's like withered ivy on the sides of the church. There's a few weeds, but there's not much in the way of floral decoration.
We can have bloom. Anything at all, really. To just green up.
Yeah.
I'll take a little withered dandelion if I can find one,
Yeah. There'll be some dandelions. Yeah.
and I'll hold it in front of her and just make it yellow.
Mm.
Give it to her and say, just, he talks a lot, but there's ways. There's always ways.
She takes it from you. She looks at it, and you see, like, she's got like a little tear in her eye. She says, "Thank you. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude or harsh. It's just
You lost your father. It's fine. He's the rude one. It just so happens that he's right, but he's rude about it. So
well,
Cannot tell a lie.
we won't be able to leave for today. We will be traveling at night if we did. So that's the last thing we want to do. You're more than welcome to go back to the house. We'll be back there later. We need a moment.
yeah. Hey, Davelin, wanna go chase after your spooky raven?
Yes, actually, yes.
And I wink at Irina as I manage to channel Davelin away.
How's it go,
Yeah,
how's it go?
she smiles.
I apologize for being rude. Sometimes I can be blunt. Yeah.
All right. Okie dokie. So
I'm like,
you leave Ismark and Irina in the cemetery. So they have a quiet moment with the Papa's grave. What are you doing?
I just want to show Rahal the grave.
Oh yes, okay. So before you leave the graveyard, Davlan and Rahal, you go up to the grave. It's pretty close to Kolyan and Dorovich's grave, so it's still a teeny bit awkward. But you go up to the grave, and it's Stone, but it appears to be very weathered and old. There is no first name that you can make out. That seems to have worn away with time. But the name Delisnia is there, and it's very faint. You almost have to run your fingers across it to be able to read it properly. There's no date of death given. There's no occupation or anything like that. Just Delisnia.
Does this name ring a bell to you?
Me.
You've been paying more attention to people's names than I have while we've been here.
Been here for the same time. We know the same people, which is like 2, 3. No. I'm
just
assuming the name
wondering.
does not mean anything
No,
to me.
you've never heard this name before in your life.
Hold on. Let me write this down. I'm terrible at forgetting names. What was it again?
Delisnia. I will spell it for you, because...
Thank you.
Oh,
No,
Jesus,
I
caps.
put delishness. Thank you. Oh, I was way in the wrong direction. I just have the strangest feeling that this name's going to come up again.
Well,
Still.
if it will, I'll remind you that we've seen it before.
Thank you.
Welcome. That's all I can
I
promise.
appreciate it. Though I think you're right. I think we should leave them to their grief.
It's a very tactful thing to do, yes.
I'm tactful sometimes.
I shall mark it in my diary whenever you are.
It's like the phases of the moon. Only happens once every 28 days.
Because I don't have a diary, so.
He doesn't tell a lie, therefore that has to be true.
So meanwhile, while Davlan and Rahal are doing this, Kerchak, Chandra, what do you want to do?
What's some like? I want to do some orc culture stuff with Kolchak. Like, is there an orc dice game that we would both know?
If you want there to be, yes, there can be. You
Okay.
can.
I feel like there should be.
Yes. Let's
Orcs
play.
invented D&D in D&D. So where to start in some other place pretending.
Oh, yes, that's exactly what we are doing.
My barbarian Kerchak.
And I've made up some like really wild story about like a sorceress, and she has the power to like hypnotize people, and so we're playing this little like orc game together.
All right. Okay. Are you just like outside of the church, or have you gone to like the tavern to do this, or are you just doing it in the street?
Just the street.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so Davalan and Rahal, you come back to Chandra and Kerchak, and they're talking really animatedly, and they're describing all these incredible, crazy things. Like Chandra's like, oh, well, my sorceress looked into a man's eyes, and he couldn't do anything to resist her, and blah, blah, blah. And so that's the scene in front of you, just right outside of the church.
Kerchak's
say
playing a
I'm the
really
crazy
old
one.
wizard, by the way.
No, I
And you
said
say
you're
I'm the
rude.
crazy one. Oh.
I said you're rude.
Oh. Right.
Davalan, this is
Jury's still out on the
culture
crazy.
you're seeing. This is culture.
At some point, I'm sure you'll have to introduce me to this culture, but right now... I just
You're
don't
not
have a-
worthy. You're not worthy.
I am not worthy.
You can't lie, and pretending is not telling the truth. So you can't play this game. I'm sorry. Paladins can't play D&D. Work yourself around that one.
Davalan is for once lost for words.
I'll mark that down as number 3.
Okay, so you pretty much Having been told by Irina that they plan to leave the next day, you have the rest of the day to do with what you will.
Well, there's always that shop that hikes the prices up for adventurers.
There's also Mad Mary.
Is there anything we really need, though?
I don't know. Is there anything that will get you to shut up?
You can always ask.
So did you say I can always ask? I have 3 of them.
No, ask.
Oh, that's less fun.
Quite.
Little sucker punch to the shoulder. As a friendly warning. Or is it maybe just friendly? We don't know yet.
There's nothing I really need to do this for the rest of the day, so well, whatever you'd like to do.
Well, where do we know where this abbey is?
No.
I'm assuming they'll direct us to the town.
Yeah.
Well, maybe getting a lay of the land as to know what we'll be getting into on the way would be a good idea. Whether or not it's closer or further away from the eyes of that fella.
I would agree with that.
See, it's almost like I have good ideas.
You often have good ideas, Kerchak. That's why we work together.
Yeah. That's why we work so well.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
Alright, so what's the plan?
Who would know more about the abbey? I imagine everyone that we literally just left would be the ones to ask.
I think yeah.
Donovich would probably know the most, because he was the one that suggested it.
I suppose while we're waiting for them to get done with their business, it might be an idea to check out Mad Mary.
Mm-hmm.
With her daughter being taken as well, perhaps it could give us a little more information into what happened to the son of Donovich. I forgot his name already.
Doru.
That one.
You are bad with names.
I really am. Both Stuart and Darlan.
You brought it into the character,
Who's
so
Stuart?
it works.
Yeah, because I can't remember his actual name. Stuart can't remember his name.
Ah, it's Doru.
I keep thinking Delore for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, so you guys are going to Mad Mary's house then, yeah?
Used to be my WoW guild.
Yeah, I'm going
Mad
wherever.
Mary's
I'm
used to
just
be a
really
wild
disappointed our game got broken up.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of like sulking along.
Alright. Okay. And I imagine like you'd be every now and then just be like, well, this would be cool if I was playing my game and
Yeah.
I was just getting
And
into
I
it and everything.
sort of subtly shimmy up to Chandra and goes, why did that sorceress? Why did that happen when they looked into her eyes? Is that?
And like I sort of perk up and I say, this is an ancient orc game we use to sharpen our skills in battle. We use the battle of the mind.
And there's sorceresses.
And I start explaining the rules of, I don't know what we're gonna call it. I don't know what we're gonna call it.
Working title.
Alright.
Waverns and witches.
Alright, so after a little bit of walking and Chandra explaining in length the rules of this game to Rahal, like the minutiae, like rules that had been changed over time and blah blah blah. She's giving you it all, man. She's telling you everything. After a little
It's
while,
on its
walking,
5th edition.
after a little while, you do arrive before Mary's townhouse, and again, inside you can hear quiet sobbing.
I turn around to Davalin. Try not to be rude this time. I know it's
Got
hard.
him. Excuse me, Miss Mary. And knock quietly on the door.
Okay,
I stand a little bit further back because answering the door to two half orcs isn't going to be the best thing.
Okay, she the sobbing quietens, and you hear nothing for a little bit, and then you behind the door you hear floorboards creak, and the door cracks open, and you see a very haggard-looking woman. She's not even that old. She's maybe in her middle age. She's maybe about 39. But grief and just living in this place has done a number on her. So she's very sallow. She's grey. Her hair is like greasy and unkempt. She's wearing like a shawl, but it's tattered and dirty, and it's gathered around her. And you can see like her eyes are red and puffy, and they just look really painful. And she composes herself. She goes, "Yes."
Good afternoon, my good lady. My name is Devilan, Scion of the Morning Lord and member of the Order of the Gauntlet. Are you okay?
My daughter is gone. No.
Where is she gone?
And then she just starts wailing. And in between the sobs that are racking her chest, you hear Devil, Castle, took her. And then she's...
Come on. Can we go inside, get you a cup of tea, and perhaps we can talk about this?
She kind of looks at you, and she looks at the group, and she's like, I don't want to let strangers in my house.
I completely understand.
It's not safe.
Right. Is there anything we can do?
Find her. Her name is Gertruda. She's 16. She has red hair and beautiful blue eyes.
And how long has she been missing?
A week.
A week. And she went towards the castle.
I didn't see it happen. I woke up and I went to wake her, and she was gone.
This is going to be a hard question, but was there any blood?
No.
That's a good sign.
But her window was open, and we don't... No one opens windows here. It's not safe. It's not safe. And you look across and you see her windows are just boarded up.
Right. We will do what we can to look for her. In the meantime, I'd like you to take this, and I want to take out from my belt and hand her the vial of holy water I have.
Mm-hmm.
If anything comes for you, throw this at them. It should scare them off, at least for a time.
Okay, as you reach forward with the vial of holy water for her, you see that actually behind the door, she steps forward to take it. She'd been cradling something in her arm. And you can't really make out, but it's bundled up like a baby. But it's not making sound, it's not moving. And she shakily reaches forward and takes the vial.
Can I make a perception check?
You can, yeah.
What's that? I can't see with this shiny dice. I don't actually know my perception number. 15.
15. Okay, with that check, you can see that although it looks like a baby, it's made from pot, and there is a tag sticking out, and it says Blinsky's Toys.
What have you got there?
Oh, this was Gertrude's. It was her favorite toy as a child.
Well, when we find her, I'll make sure to let her know that you still have it for her.
Could I know it's tough to ask you this, but if we find her, it might help to have this. We might be able to find her with it. I promise, if we don't, I promise we'll bring it back, and her, hopefully. God, I'm not good at this. But could we have this, please?
Roll
It
a
will help.
persuasion check.
Now
Natural
he's being
20,
rude.
I'm back, bitches!
Okay. She pauses for a moment as if to consider, and you see her look down and she strokes it as if it was a real baby, and she kind of coos at it a little. But then she hands it over to you, specifically Rahal, and she says, "Protect this and bring my girl back, please."
We will. We will.
I swear it.
Okay.
He swears it. Yeah.
And she's kind of like she's just super sad, and she doesn't really know what to do right now. She's just kind of stood there watching
Go
you.
get yourself a hot drink. And just try not to worry. We'll bring your daughter back to you soon.
Just bring her back. Bring her back, yes. Bring her back.
I will.
And then she turns and shuts the door.
I turn around and say, I might be able to.
Rahal,
Like you
as
said.
now after that conversation, you
Yeah.
look down at the doll and it's horrifying. It has a huge crack up the face. One eye is missing. The hand, when it went through the molding process, came out misshapen. So there's like 3 fingers and they're all off at weird angles. It has 1 leg. It's just this horrible, like imagine the most haunted doll you could think of. That's that thing. That's what it looks like. But she
Yeah.
had it swaddled up in cloth like a real baby.
Yeah. This is oh god. I'm just turning it around so I don't have to look at it. But I might be able to pick up a scent. I don't know if it was hers. It's the only thing I could think of.
That might be an idea. I would like at least one of us to get a look at that room of hers, though. Is there any way one of you could sneak in there?
Oh yeah, sure. Let me just put on my sneaking boots and sneak in.
It was more directed towards the other 2, Kerchak. You know how good we are at sneaking.
This is true. You are almost glowing, and that's not a good thing. I mean, I feel like you
Yet
probably
again,
think it
yet
is, but
again, while they're bickering, I turn cat.
Ever since you were a girl, you're afraid of spiders.
I think that takes a long. No, but climbing feet. Rat doesn't climb.
You need to be enough to get under a door.
I'm gonna try
Yeah,
climbing up
spider.
the wall.
Spider.
Okay. Chandra, you're just climbing up the wall?
Yes, and I got an 11. That's higher than I was hoping for,
Okay.
but
Alright.
I am already making way to leave.
Okay, so Davilan
I'm
and
turning-
Okay.
Giant wolf spider.
Okay. Okay, so Davilan and Kerchak are making motions to leave. They've turned and they're starting to go down the street, bickering amongst themselves. Chandra is trying to climb the wall, but with an 11, you're trying, but you can't really get much purchase. The constant rain and the fact that none of this has been looked after properly makes your grip really, like, it's slimy. It's not good
Well,
for climbing.
I'm sure the
Rahal.
high heels don't help either.
No.
A 7-foot-tall half-orc in high heels just clinging onto a drain pipe.
Yes.
that's glorious. Thank you for that
Basically.
mental image.
Adventure zone.
She gets up a little bit and slides back down. Rahal, meanwhile, has just gone poof and bumped into a huge spider. And are you gonna skitter up the side of the house? And okay,
Oh, I was thinking more under the door and in.
I'll first check if the window is Well, no, sorry, you said they were boarded up.
yeah. So from what you can
Then-
see, her
go.
room was not facing this street that you're currently on. All the windows on this side are currently boarded up.
Sorry,
so
dog
you
has to go to the
must
bathroom. I'll be right
That's
back.
okay. You must assume that her bedroom was on the other side.
Well, then under the door.
All right. Okay. I mean, you're very tiny, and she's grief-stricken, so I'm not going to make you roll stealth checks.
I have +7 to stealth.
But you skitter under the door, and you see that the Mary has basically just sat in a chair, and she's just sat, staring at nothing, and her arm is still crooked as if she had something in it, and she's quietly sobbing to herself. But you skitter on past, leaving through the dust, because it's really dusty and grim in here, but it's very sparsely decorated. There's not a lot. It's not super elaborate in here. You make your way across to the stairs, make your way up the stairs to what you from the light pouring in, you can only assume to be Gertruda's bedroom. Okay. Are you still staying spider?
Yes, because I don't actually have any more wild shapes left afterwards.
Oh, right. Okay. I need you to roll an investigation check for me.
Oh, bloody hell. Hold on, sorry, I need to pick spider stats. Well, that's a natural one.
Oh, womp. Okay. So you survey what you can of Gertruda's room, but being down at literally the worm's eye view, it's really hard for you to get a scale of what the room looks like in the bigger picture. So you see smaller things. You can glean that the wood boarding up the windows was pulled out from the other side because you're not seeing it in the room with you. What you do see is glass on the inside, as if the glass had been smashed from the outside.
Is the window open now?
Yes, it's basically a big open gap of nothing. There's no glass. The glass was smashed through.
Then I actually unspider.
All right.
I just jump out after her. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you unspider, and now you find yourself in Gertruda's room. You can still hear Mary downstairs.
I tread very carefully to not make any floorboards creak.
Okay, now I'm gonna need you to roll a stealth check.
Yeah. God. Huh? That's 20, not natural.
20, not natural. Okay, so you make careful attention to not stand on any of the glass. You skirt all the squeaky floorboards you can find. You test some of them with your toes, see if there's any movement. You stick to the ones that don't budge. You can see that now you're up at person size, that the bed has basically been thrown to the side. There's no blood here. It doesn't seem like a super violent kidnapping, despite the glass. There's not a lot of things disturbed. It's just her bedding that's been thrown to the side. In fact, drawers are open as if she's packed clothes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a small chest on top of her drawers that you would that would look like a jewelry box. That is open and empty.
Any letters, diaries, anything like
roll
this?
another investigation check for me.
That's 12.
Okay, so you rummaging around. This one's actually, it's not very well hidden, but in the bottom of one of the drawers you find a piece of parchment, a very nice piece of parchment. And you open it, and inside you see written in a very fine, steady, controlled hand, it says, "My love, I will come for you in a week. Be ready."
Oh, fuck. I'm guessing I recognize the hand from...
Yes, it matches the same letter, the first letter you received.
I'm taking that with me.
Oh boy.
All right.
So the glass you said is on the floor, but the window was just ripped out.
Yeah, so the wood that was boarding up the windows from the outside has been ripped off, and you can't see it in the room, so you assume it was ripped off from the outside. and the glass has been smashed, and it's on the inside. So whoever broke this glass did it from outside the window. As you look out of the window, there's no ledge. There's no nowhere a person could be stood. Basically, it just goes straight down.
How far does it go down?
Just because this is the first story, so it's just, down a story.
So like 10 feet.
Yeah.
At most.
Yeah, I'm jumping out.
All right. Okay. Roll an acrobatics check.
Well, that's a natural 1 again.
Ooh. So you jump out of the window, and you go to brace yourself for a landing, but you mistime it, and you just in the mud. You take, you fucking lucky git, a point of damage. As you are now face down in the dirt, outside the back of Mad Mary's townhouse, with your party in the street out the front.
I don't even clean off the dirt, who cares? That's what I look like anyway. And go back to the front.
Alright. And as you rejoin your companions and get ready for the next step, that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Yay!
Hey! Good game, guys. Good game. Yeah. So, week after next, we'll see what you do. Do you manage to escort Ismark and Arena away from Barovia and from the shadow of Castle Ravenloft?
Probably not, no.
I was Castle Ravenloft. I almost thought you were going to say Castlevania.
I know.
Almost.
Never fear, Deviland Belmont is here to destroy evil monsters and all you hold dear.
Never actually fear. I'm stood behind him.
I will end your cruel necromancy, even if you're just dancing.
I'll collect the teeth.
Anyway, so thank you guys for playing with me tonight, and thank you, Stream, for hanging out with us while we played tonight. That was a good session. I really enjoyed that, and I did lots of voices, and my voice really hurts now.
Welcome to my world.
Before we say goodnight, is there anything anyone wants to plug?
Yes.
Ooh.
I will be. I think everyone's at out in the UK, right?
Yeah.
But if anyone is on the off chance going to San Diego Comic-Con, I'll be signing books at Dark Horse Friday at. Sorry, I forgot.
Friday at a time.
Friday at 5 p.m. I'll be signing books at San Diego Comic-Con.
Holy crap.
And then I'm issue 11, 12, 13, 11 through 15 of Star Trek. I'm coloring those issues, and they look really nice. If
Susie
anyone
just
wants
died
to
a
pick
little
it
and
up.
went to heaven.
That's amazing. So yeah, if you're going to SDCC, guys, go see Marissa. Go.
Yeah, I'm really nice in person.
Yeah, she's nice. Yeah, and once again, Marissa is the only one that actually has a real plug.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure if you
unfortunately,
go.
my proper plug's out for a while yet. So
Aw.
still under NDAs.
Ooh. But yeah,
Do you
so go see Marissa if you're at San Diego. Otherwise, follow us all on Twitter. Hit the follow button up above our beautiful faces. And we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. This will go up on YouTube next week. They'll go up tomorrow if you're a Patreon. And yeah, just, stay cool and cute and stuff. And we'll see you next
And
time.
if you want more D&D content, on Mondays, Talavir, which has most of the players in this game, and myself as the DM, just finished a big major thing in the story. That's on at same time as this starts, but on Mondays, and that's every week.
Yep.
You can come watch that if you want. And don't forget, if you really, really enjoy what's on this channel, thanks to the new Twitch affiliate system, our wonderful host has a sub button now. So if you really enjoy it and you want to support the streamer even more than you already do,
Yay.
push that button because it buys me coffees.
Wow, self-interest. But anyway,
You were almost selfless. You were almost
right-
selfless.
almost, just so close.
Almost.
So yeah,
It takes me some time.
we will say
to get
goodnight
out
for
down.
now. But we look forward to the next time. So we'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.